Zippers. Chapter 19, Part B. Zippers. Eyes closed slowly and just as slowly reopened as he stared his enlarging pupils back at Ms. Sternum. No. And why is that, Zippers? Why are you so sure your master is the inventor of the formula? Because, Anna, he is not my master, for one. For two, he's my companion. For three, someday some of you humans are going to get it through your stubborn heads that you're not the only intelligent species on this planet. I've been able to understand your language for much longer than I've been able to speak it. I hear the news, the conversations. I know the political BS my friend has gone through with your company you represent by overhearing his talking with his former girlfriend. I've been a silent witness to everything because these ears are sharp. Sharper than yours, by the way. My mind is sharp. I'm able to reason, and if you haven't been able to figure that out by now, may I point out the fact a human ventriloquist is not causing me to answer your patronizing, asinine question. I'm aware of the situation, Counsel. I've watched Jacob struggle with these equations for 3 years now. Anna finally straightened to her regular standing position. After a slight pause, she continued. Zippers. In those 3 years, you witnessed and listened to a confused, frustrated, young, lonely man coming home to his drab, unfulfilled life day after day. No offense, I'm sure your addition to it made it more bearable. But a young man who felt extremely unappreciated, extremely upset at his job. Now, would this be a fair description back then? Of course I witnessed something in those parameters, and you would feel like he did too if everything you slaved on was unheeded, ignored, ridiculed even. So in those 3 years of countless belly aching and gripes to his girlfriend, I imagine you must have seen exactly what Mr. Fairbanks and Ms. Olden saw. An employee who was spinning his wheels, wasting his time when it could have been better served elsewhere. A dead weight to both himself and the company he worked for. Someone who was just waiting to be let go. Or, if the employer had a heart, a poor young confused man simply waiting to be moved to another department so his means of making a living wouldn't be compromised. 4, 3, 7,000 saline CX carried over the 4th and start a new cycle. Now Miss Sturman was the one to blink slowly. Beg pardon? That was part of the equation Jacob shared with his then-girlfriend Jolie Carey only days before his demotion. My guess is it must have held some significance. He repeated it like someone possessed. Just ask Pepper there, who took over as caretaker of his notes. 4, 3, 7,000 saline CX carried over the quarter and then started a new cycle. Makes absolutely no sense to me. I barely understand Fox News, but it sure did to Jacob. I don't see how this is relevant. I see it as quite relevant, Anna. If you or whoever owns those reams of notes ever decides to help more autism patients, or perhaps helps more species come to the table of understanding, those numbers, letters, and notes will be in there, and part of that formula. Mark my words, I heard them utter them to Pepper, too. I not only can reason, ma'am, I have a really good memory. So what if you do, Anna? Anna, please. If my buddy Jacob was a dead weight, then prove to everyone here, including Jacob himself, those notes I just parroted aren't part of the code. He, not you, not the 18th research guy, not anyone, but Jacob cracked. Well, we've had the formula in front of us, wouldn't we then, Zippers? We'd have to have the formula in front of us, wouldn't we? Miss Sturman said confidently, with a snidely tone. And besides, you could be making those numbers up. I'm under oath. Even a cat has morals. I'd be perjuring myself if I lied. I don't know about you humans, but I'm guessing the punishment for perjury for a mere cat is much worse than jail time in a prison somewhere. It's probably time spent in some stinking shit-infested low-income kennel. Do pardon my French. Well, and to think I actually was tempted to pet you, Mr. Feltz. I have no further need to try and make sense from this animal, asked Zippers. This cat! Hey, you may step down, Mr. Feltz. The court will break for lunch. Be sure to be back here by 1 p.m. And do be on time, said the judge. The gavel swung and Zippers walked back to his friends. His tail was held high. Psst, whispered Jacob. You can really remember all those details? 437,000. Sailing CX. Carried over the fourth quarter and start a new frickin' cycle, mate. You rode it. Like a proud cockle-doodle-dooing rooster, you did. That's the end of chapter 19, and even though it's far below our 10-minute mark, seems to me a good place to stop for tonight. And you can get, I can't find my dinger. You can get that at, nope. My cat's knocked down my bell. That's too bad. I like that bell. I'll find it next time. You can get it at GulleroodBooks.com.